this tutorial, I'll be demonstrating how to use paths in the PL post. The main purpose of using paths is basically to plot anything that you need to plot and to identify mainly the maximum and the minimum values along a given strip. And this function is mainly useful in bridge analysis. Open the PL post, and then as you notice here, I started off with a clean sheet in the PL post. And then right click to open the Paths Manager. You can also open the Paths Manager from the toolbar at the top over here. The Paths Manager open, and we will import a path file. Now, I'm going to show you what the path file is. A path file is basically a .txt file, a text file, that contains a table with the values relative to the x and y coordinates of each point. Now, the first line of the text file contains the path ID, then the path name, and the third line contains the number of points and then the values. The first column is the x and y x coordinates, and the second column is the y coordinates, whilst the third and final column is the values column. Now, go back to the PL post, and then I'm just going to click on Load Path. I'm going to load my path. Now, as you notice, the path ID has been loaded, and it's called path ID as I named it in the text file. And there's an option to enable it or disable it in case you have several paths. In this case, I'm going to leave it enabled. The path description is also based on the name that was given called path name. Path point is the number of points the file has, and we mentioned that the file has 11, and the maximum value is the highest value of the points we entered. The total value is the integration of the curve, or in other words, the area under the curve. These values cannot be adjusted as they are based on the file we imported. Now close the Paths Manager to view the strip. Scroll up and down to refresh. Now reopen it again. And over here we have a slider tool. And this gives me the ability to adjust the scale of the strip using the sliding scale. This is obviously a very useful tool which allows me to adjust the scale accordingly in case I need to compare with other models in either the PL-PACK or finite element programs, or in the case I have several strips very close to each other. Let me give you a brief example. I'm going to slide the toolbar to the right, and scroll up and down to refresh. Or I'll reopen the Paths Manager. I'll make it smaller than 150, the scale value down here, which was the default value. And scroll up and down to refresh, and it makes the curve either smaller or bigger. And thus this concludes our tutorial.